Alright, what's going on, people? Here in this video. Now, there seems to be a lot of differences between Park and Pro-Am. So sometimes I'll be talking and in my mind I'm speaking in the specific context of Pro-Am, and then some Park person will come around and be like, Agent, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So I was like, hey, you don't make a great video. If I make a video explaining 3 archetypes that kill it in the fucking Park that are trash on Pro-Am. Now, that being said, you can work a trash archetype, and don't get this mistaken with it's like you can't use it at all and it has no benefits. It definitely does, but I'm saying you use it in Pro-Am, you can be mildly effective. Some of them just not effective at all. Use it in Pro. If you use it in Park, then it's a whole new different story. You can start saucing people with that archetype. Alright, so let's get straight into it. And the first one, and it's the one I've been meaning to talk about for a while, is the stretch big. So the stretch big, I've seen the gameplay, I've seen the people do it on the Park. Stretch bigs are just phenomenal because the benefit that stretch bigs have on sharpshooters is that there's a higher threshold for what counts as contesting a stretch big, because if you're 5'11" and you're running up to contest a 7'3" stretch big, then it's not really going to count it as a contest unless you're really grilling him. Like, you have to be on him from the jump. That being said, you don't have to be as mobile on the Park as you do have to be on Pro-Am. And the major L stretch bigs get on Pro-Am is that if you're the big man for your team, and even if you have another glass cleaner on top of that, it's like, if you are a stretch big, that means you're not getting rebounds. And in Pro-Am, it is vitally fucking important to get rebounds, much more so than in Park. So of course there's 5 people on the court in Pro-Am. The dynamics are a lot different. Like, you're easily boxed out. If you're spending your time at the 3-point line and you're a center, if you're the center for your team, or even the power forward, and you're spending your time out there, I don't know, there hasn't been any successful stretch bigs up against our team, and it's just been a pattern. So I got to the conclusion that stretch bigs are about to be trash. But when you go on the Park, it's a whole new story. It's like they can light it up in the Park, especially if they know what they're doing. So if you play a good stretch big in Pro-Am, he can be effective for sure. He'll make some shots, but he won't make a sharpshooter type of shot. So sharpshooters definitely have the advantage when it comes to Pro-Am. Stretch bigs, I've seen them on the Park, yo. Those guys, really fucking good. The next one, and when I said not effective, an athletic finisher is not effective in Pro-Am. It's not even close to effective in Pro-Am. I've never seen an athletic finisher do well on us except for one time, and it's because he was guarding the AI, and all he did was sprint down the floor every time we scored a bucket and beat the AI. So we eventually had to end up playing help on him, etc. So if you're facing a user and you're not relying on just sprinting down the court faster than a computer, then the athletic finisher is not nice in Pro-Am. But I've seen him in Park. The tango between both the playmaker and the athletic finisher, especially with the badge the athletic finisher has, he can put in some work. The casual sliders definitely do a huge favor to athletic finishers. When you're playing on sim sliders or default sliders, it's a whole new different story. And if all you can do as an athletic finisher, you're mediocre at most things and bad at some things, but if all you can do is finish at the hoop, and you can't even finish at the hoop that well, because if all someone has to do is stand in front of you and you're gonna miss, you're not gonna be effective. It's a lot easier for people to play help on Pro-Am than it is in Park, because there's a lot more people on Pro-Am. So long story short is athletic finishers on Pro-Am are just laughable, but on the Park I've seen them fucking dominate. So that's second on the list. Now the next one, and this one might be a little controversial because I have one, is a playmaker. Now playmakers, I've seen them be effective on the Pro-Am. I've seen it because they've sauced me before. But you have to be really fucking good, because in Park, there's so much more surface area and real estate for you to make your moves and then pass the ball off or do this and do that. See, the only reason I'm not like they're trash is they'll put in work, but they'll dominate on the Park is because of Dimer. So even if you're not finding your shots as a playmaker on Pro-Am, Dimer is going to be very beneficial. But on the Park, in my opinion, I fret the most, I worry the most when I'm up against a playmaker, because they have the ability to break you down, and then once your team starts to rotate, you might find a sharpshooter open, or you might leave somebody else open for like a slasher for a mid-range shot, or you might leave someone open on a backdoor cut because you're worried about the rotation. So the playmakers, especially before the patches, but even after the ankle breaker patches, they dominate on the Park, but I don't see them dominating much on the Pro-Am. So I go up against him often, especially when I use my playmaker on Pro-Am, and I do use him often. Like, I have games often where I score 25 or 30 with my playmaker, but once you go on with that, it's not dominating though. It's not yet dominating, but when I get on with my sharpshooter, it's dominating. So I guess it's just that distinction. Playmakers are still pretty good on the Pro-Am. I wouldn't want to go up against them. I'd much rather go up against any other archetype. But on the park, they take their shit to a whole new fucking level, man. Those casual sliders do put in work. There's a lot more space for them to actually create room and break ankles, etc. They can drive without worrying about somebody right beside them helping out. So that's a huge one right there. It's a lot more difficult to help when you got 3 people on the floor in park, or 2s, or even 4, than when you got 5 on the Pro-Am. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Those are the 3 archetypes: the stretch big, athletic finisher, playmaker. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Let me know what y'all think. Maybe you guys got one that I fucking missed, man. Let me know. Now, there's some archetypes that I think are trash in both, and I kept those ones off these lists. I need to make a separate video for those ones. I'm gonna catch y'all later. I'm out. Peace.